Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. Either way, I'm super happy you're here. I got a new nail drill to try out and I'm super excited. I've actually had this for like 2 months. I bought it myself. This was not sent to me. So this video is not like, this is going to be my true feelings on the nail drill. It does come with a little warranty card. I really need to go online and fill that out because I have issues with nail drills. Hopefully not this one. I've had the Kiara Sky super expensive, like $300 nail drill. And it took a crap on me. Nothing I could do. It was just done, gone. Replaced it with a iGel Beauty one that's like 270, but it was like 60% off. I don't know. It cost me like 160 bucks, something like that. I've had that one for a few years and I love that one, but the cord, the motor in the cord keeps going out. I've already replaced it once. It went out again. So it's like every time I'm drilling, it will just stop working. It's super hyper annoying. Yeah, okay. It's super annoying. I was just comparing like the size. This one is definitely smaller, which I don't think is a bad thing. My iGel Beauty one does go up to 35 RPMs. I never even come close to that. The highest I ever use is like 22. This one goes up to 30. Perfect. No problem. Okay. That's the charger. I do love that I don't have to actually plug it into like a wall, I can plug it into I have a port thing that has like USB ports. So that's awesome. Here's the little cord for the handpiece. Hoping, praying, fingers crossed. I'm nice enough to this one that it does not break. It does come with these bits. Now, if you're a newbie and you've never used an electric drill, those bits are great. I will not use any of those. I pretty much threw them in a drawer and I will likely forget about them. It's no shade. It's just I have my preferred bits that I use for different various things when you're doing your nails. So those are unnecessary to me. I wish that I didn't already delete my volume, but it is very quiet. The further you turn it up, the louder it gets, but it's nothing like, oh my gosh, that's crazy loud. Like I can't take that. It sounds like a nail drill. I love that it has a pause button. I don't know how often I will use it, but I do love that. Also, when you go from forward, so the bottom button goes from forward to reverse. When you hit that button while it's running, it automatically pauses and then changes direction. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about that. So this is perfect timing. I needed a fill, but I'm actually going to do a little bit of an extension. Don't worry, I'm not doing that on camera. I'm only going to show you me filing, I think, 2 of the fingers in my normal speed, which is 1.5 times regular speed. And then and then I'll do the rest of the nails like super fast. Like, I mean, it's going to seem like I'm doing them really quick, but this is the bit that I use to do my cuticle cleanup. I have already pushed my cuticles back off camera. I just wasn't like using that brain of mine to like say, oh, you need to do this on camera. So I already pushed the cuticles back. I always do that before I go in with my file. It's just the way I do it. Now I've seen some controversy with this bit in the nail tech industry. So I, this is why I typically don't do any filing in my videos, is because I'm not a professional. So I want you guys to know that everything I'm doing is just what I've learned, what is comfortable to me, what doesn't cause damage to me, because if it causes damage, I'm not doing it anymore. This bit is pretty sensitive. It looks like it's like going, but it gets out all that gunk. It's really nice. I will, after I'm done completely filing, go up with a cuticle nipper and I will clean up my cuticles. I will not put that on camera because I am not a professional. And that is something that when I first started, I was like, oh, that looks so easy. I absolutely demol it. I am lucky that I did not cause any permanent damage. I should have done more research and I should have started off much more cautiously. And instead I saw videos of other YouTubers, not nail techs, doing it. And I was like, oh, I can do that. No, it's hard. I've been doing it for a few years now. I'm very, very careful, but doing it in a video to people, when I am not licensed, I feel would be super irresponsible. So I do that off camera. It is something that I do every single time I feel the need to. I don't do it every time I clean up my cuticles, but every time I feel like there's a lot of loose cuticle that needs cleaned up, then I do use them. So, okay, that was a lot. Sorry about that. But I do love this bit because it just kind of tucks right in there. It's so nice. It's so super gentle. I only have the speed. I think I showed it in the beginning, but I only have the speed at 3 RPM. See, we're in fast mode now. So this looks like I'm going super fast, but it's because I'm just trying to kind of do a review of it. And so I don't think that you guys need to see me do every single nail, the whole process slow, or normal speed, technically sped up still, but my normal speed. So, okay. So yeah, I think I've mentioned everything I need to mention. This should have been uploaded last week, but I was having a off week last week. I wasn't feeling great. I got a little bit of a stomach bug. So I wasn't really in the mindset to do my voiceover and get this uploaded. I was also really low energy, and I really hate uploading videos when I have low energy because I feel like it just completely translates in the video, like, ugh. So yeah, and as far as health stuff, I do not have like a full update. I did go to rheumatology today. Thank God, that was a good appointment. So before I even think about getting onto there, I am going to clean up the nails with this. This is just a sanding band. It is a 180 grit, and I'm using it at speed 3. And I believe after this, I will, and usually I do it the other way around. So I don't know why I did it this way, but I do believe I go in with like a better cleanup bit, but I'm not sure. So yeah, and this one, I don't know. I feel safe going around and cleaning up any of that dead skin that's still on my skin, but I don't know that that's like super smart or recommended. There are times where if like I have a hangnail or something and I do that, I'll just cut it wide open, and then that's ingenious. So, I don't know if that's the best idea. I do it often, but I don't know if it is. But it doesn't hurt, so there's that. And usually I don't nick myself or do any kind of damage. But it isn't made for the skin around the nails. So there's that. Keep that in mind. Anyway, so I went to rheumatology. They went over my blood work that I've had so far. Negative for RA, negative for lupus. We crossed a lot of other things based on symptoms off the list. So we're down to this thing called, give me a second, and I don't think I'm even going to pronounce this right, but it's ankylosis spondylitis. Oh my God. AS for short. It's basically a condition that, I mean, I don't know enough about the condition to know exactly what it is, but it affects your lower back and your hips, and your neck, which I have a lot of problems with, but I also have a lot of joint pain throughout my body, blah, blah, blah. He's just testing for that, I think, more to rule it out and then tell me, you have fibromyalgia. Yay. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I don't like that because there's no test to actually back that up. It's basically a rule out system. They rule everything else out. And then based on, I mean, there is some criteria. Fatigue, yes, check mark. Lack of sleep or trouble sleeping, yes, check mark. And widespread pain, yes, check mark. So, I don't know if that's what is going to be the end of the day conclusion or not. And then I guess there's various like kind of treatments, but anyway, that's where we're at right now. I am getting more blood work and I am getting an x-ray of my lower back. So we'll see what that brings. But all that to say, yeah, last week was an off week. So this video didn't get uploaded. Super sorry about that. Now off camera, I'm going to do that. There we go. We've got our extensions, but they need cleaned up. So I'm kind of just going to go over, show you what I do with the drill. This is a medium, like 5-in-1 bit. I'm pretty sure I got it on Amazon. So if I can find it, I will link it. And I don't think that I showed the speed, but I believe I have it at about 12. Anywhere between 10 and 12 is usually where I do the speed to clean it up. I am so sorry, you guys. I am like talking a mile a minute, and like, I don't know, maybe this is a really good time for me to do my voiceovers because I'm like high energy at the moment. I really hope that this isn't driving anyone nuts with my just like blah, word vomit. Um, but I did just want to address a couple things because I always go back when I like hit a stop point where I'm like, okay, I need to take a breath or I need to cough or I need to do something. So I hit stop and then I always rewatch what I've already recorded, like so that I can hear myself and make sure I'm not sounding like a complete bumbling fool, which I probably am. But so I noticed like on my right thumb before I had the extension on, so early in the video, there's a lot of brown at the tip. I just wanted to address that in case anyone's like, oh my gosh, what the heck is that? So at some point a while back, I had put on with Dual Forms some polygel and it was like a nude brown color. And then when I took that off, I did not take all the layers off. So that's why you don't see it as much now with the extension, is because I had filed even more of that off, but I don't go all the way down. When I file and do like anything, a new extension, whatever, or go back to full cover tips or whatever, I always leave like a thin, well, I always now, I didn't used to, but I always, typically I'll leave a thin layer of whatever the product that I had on before on, and it just so happens that the thick layer on, or sorry, the thin layer on that particular nail was thicker than all the other nails. So that is just something that I noticed and wanted to say something about. And then also as far as like the filing, I apologize. I do know that I like pull my hand closer to me and then it's hard for you guys to see. So I tried to cut a lot of that out, but it is fairly difficult. But yeah, I have a really bad habit of doing that, so I apologize. Um, and oddly enough, I did these nails. I wore them for, you'll see like the end result at the end of the video, obviously, or later in the video, which I promise goes super quick. It's like the purpose of this video was to review this nail drill for you guys. So the nails that I do in the video are like, you'll see, like super fast. Stay and watch till the end, please, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I don't remember what I was just going to say. Oh my gosh, I totally lost. Oh, I left them on for about 5 days. And then I got home and I don't know. I go through these weird things and I like filed them all down super, 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 super short. And then today because I only do one hand at a time, like one hand in a day. Today I went through and I did extensions again. So in my next video, you will see my nails are almost exactly how I have them right now, except maybe a little bit, tiny bit shorter and a tiny bit more, I guess, oval almond versus pointy almond, if that's helpful. Anyway, this is actually important, so I'm sorry that I'm talking through all of this, but I just used Madam Glam's and it's late lecture, and it is like a baby, almost nudish pink. And I will eventually go over it with some chrome powder, but this is my breast cancer awareness mani for October. It does not affect me directly. I actually don't know anyone personally in my personal life, but I know it affects a lot of people. And it affects me in the sense that it could happen to me any day. I do have, tatas. I do get my yearly mammograms. Highly recommend that. They are not as bad as people say that they are, but they're also not pleasant. So, and then I'm doing some stamping with this plate from Maniology. I will have this linked. And it is such a perfect plate for breast cancer awareness. So I am going to go through and I'm going to top coat every nail right now. I think I already did the base coat off camera, but we're just going to go through real quick. We're going to top coat and then we're going to put this really pretty chrome on. I thought it would just like add to the look and make it, and it did. It's so pretty. for whatever reason, in some of the pictures, they almost look like a nude, like tan color, but they're not. They're definitely pink. Um, Back to Madam Glam. Madam Glam does really cool things. They donate proceeds. I'm going to insert a couple pictures right now that they had sent me and that I want to share with you guys, and you can hit pause and check it out. But I highly recommend going over to Madam Glam, getting one of their breast cancer bundles, and part of the proceeds do go to breast cancer awareness organization. So let me insert that now. So yeah, definitely pause to read these, but it is a super good cause. Highly recommend. Again, you can save on Madam Glam using my code Jill35, and I will also put a link in the description that's supposed to take you straight to that discount code, so that if you purchase anything, you will automatically save without having to put the discount code in. So really quick, one last thing about Madam Glam. I just want to say thank you to them for doing this, because I do think it is a great cause. I love that they're donating part of the proceeds when you buy a breast cancer bundle, which is like a pink bundle, to a breast cancer organization. I think that we could use way more of that. So right now, this is the last thing I'm going to do with the nail file. And I kind of more did this just to kind of show you guys, but I don't typically do this often. I think I more did it because I had done chrome, so I kind of had some chrome in my cuticles, but this is a cuticle cleanup bit, I think is how I found it. I will link this as well. Sorry, I realize I'm pulling towards my face and away from you guys. But it is a really sensitive bit. I only have it on 3, and I'm just cleaning up around the cuticles, any of the chrome powder that got in there or any top coat that got in there. I do tend to flood a little bit here and there. It just happens. But this is a nice to clean up, like anything that got in there that I don't want in there. Obviously, I wish my application was perfect enough that I never had to do something like this, but it's not. It's not. It's just really not. So I don't use it. In fact, this is like the second time I've used this bit. So it's there if you need it, but obviously the goal is to have application, I was going to say flawless, but that's, no, not flawless, but good enough that it's not, you don't want gel in your sidewalls or in your cuticle area. Like, that's not where we want gel. So anyway, I am done. So my final review, I'm going to do my cuticle oil, but my final review on this nail drill is a hard yes. I think I paid 30 or 35 bucks for it. And up to this point, so this is my first time using it that you guys are seeing. I mean, I used it on my right hand before my left hand off camera, but this is my first time really using it, and I've used it several times since then, and I'm absolutely in love. And the fact that it's $35 versus the $160 that I paid for the iGel Beauty one and the $300 I paid for the Kiara Sky one is great. That way, if something does happen to it, I won't feel horrible having to replace it. It'll just be what it is. I love it. I think it's great. There's nothing I have to say negative about it in comparing it to the other two that I've used. And in fact, I would say it has positives. I like that it's smaller. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative. It's just a personal preference. But it's definitely a positive that it pauses and that you can push reverse while you're doing your nails instead of having to turn it off and then going into reverse mode, which is what you have to do with the other two. So there we are. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry I yapped so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week, hopefully with 2 videos. Have a beautiful day. Bye.